Hey everybody! Welcome, welcome! It's your friendly dog trainer, April Boulevard. I'm so excited to have you join me today. To everyone who's watching this Blab, um, the recording, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. So it's Monday, right? And let's start off the week right? Let's find out what those 3 things you need to be doing with your dog right now are, right? And really set us up for a good relationship with your dog. So before I do that, let me introduce myself. I'm April Boulevard. I am a certified dog trainer. I'm an honors graduate of Animal Behavior College. And I've been a dog trainer for only over 10 years. I also did pet sitting for about 16 years. I had my own pet sitting business. And I also have a master's degree in grooming, and I did that for a while as well. So as you can tell, I'm very passionate about animals. And dog training is definitely my passion. It's my niche, and what I'm really concentrating on right now, because I think that's where my passion is, and it's definitely my passion to help you enrich your bond with your dog and have your dog's mind work for you and not against you. A dog's mind, to me, is very interesting, and I love to really help my clients understand where their dog's coming from and how to use what's natural with their dog to help them solve their problems. So that way there's a good, healthy flow, right? And the dog is well balanced, and you just have a great relationship with your dog. You don't have all those things blocking your relationship with all the behavior issues that you might be experiencing. So let's get started. We're going to be talking about the 3 things that you need to be doing with your dog right now. Okay, so these 3 things I think are like the top 3 essential things that you need to do with your dog to really have that good relationship, and for your dog to be well balanced and healthy mentally. So what are they, right? Well, they are 1, you definitely want to make sure that you have your leadership role established, right? You want to have your pack established, and your a good, strong leadership role, right? So that's 1. 2 is you want to make sure that your dogs get enough physical exercise. A lot of us underestimate how much physical exercise our dogs actually need, me included, before I went to school. So, and 3, you want to give your dogs mental exercise as well. I don't think a lot of us realize that our dogs need mental stimulation and mental exercise as well as physical exercise too. So those are the top 3 things that you need to be doing with your dog. Okay, the most essential, and a lot of behavior issues that you have are going to stem from that. If your dog isn't seeing you as the pack leader, if your dog isn't getting enough physical exercise, if your dog isn't getting enough mental exercise, a lot of the behavior issues that we see stem from these 3, lack of or not enough of these 3 things. So that's why I think that they're really essential, and that you really need to be doing them with your dog right now. They're the most essential components that you need to have in your dog relationship. So let's go ahead and talk about each one, right? So hold on 1 second. So leadership role, right? That's a big one. I find very common that a lot of people that I work with don't really have a strong leadership role with their dog. And here's a few things that we need to realize. One, dogs are pack animals, okay? So they have a pack mentality. So they're always going to look for a leader, and if there isn't one, if they don't feel like there's a good leader, guess what? They're going to take on that role, right? The other thing that we have to realize is that if they do take on that role, it's not going to be a good place for them mentally, okay? A dog who feels like they have to be the leader or feels like they're taking the leadership role is really stressed and nervous and has a high anxiety level, okay? They are not happy. I mean, it's not a good place to be. I know us as humans like to be leaders. I like to be a lead. I'm a Leo, so I'm a born leader, right? And follow my lead is my business name, so it's in my business title, right? But as far as dogs, they're a lot happier just being followers. It's very stressful for a dog to take on the leadership role. They have to worry about their territory. They have to worry about someone coming and taking the leadership role from them. So they're kind of always on alert, They have to always be on high alert to make sure that, no one's going to come and take over that leadership role from them. So to be a follower is a lot more relaxing for them when they know where their place is in your household. They know you set the rules for them in ways that they can understand as dogs. It's relaxing for them. They can just, relax and now, everything is set out. I know where I stand. I have a good, parent or pack leader, and I can just be a dog, So that's the first thing. Definitely want to do that. And if you are having, behavior issues with your dog, you may want to get with a dog trainer and really talk to them and see if you need to do some restructuring of your family unit, and a certified dog trainer, me or somebody else, can really help you just follow a few essential steps to make sure that that role is established, that the dog understands its place in your household, right? Knows the rules, and it can be calm and relaxed and not have to stress and worry about, who the pack leader is, or, if, having to take on that role themselves and be stressed out and anxious about, taking care of that and somebody taking that role away from them. They're a lot more happy if they're just, somebody's just doing it for them, So that's the first one. So the second one is physical exercise, right? And we all know our dog needs physical exercise, but a lot of times we underestimate how much time our dog actually needs. Now, even from the very smallest dog, even a little Shih Tzu or a little Pekingese who isn't that, hyper or is a more relaxed breed, or a Great Dane, believe it or not, it's a big dog, but it's also a big couch potato, right? Needs exercise, okay? And the minimum that a dog needs is about an hour a day. Now, if you have a higher energy dog, or a dog, of any breed that is more hyperactive, you may have to increase that. You may have to do more than 1 hour of exercise a day. But that's just the basic, baseline of how much most dogs need is about an hour a day. So what do I mean by exercise for an hour a day? Well, one of the things that I really like to have my clients do is to not use a walk as a way for your dog to eliminate, okay? Because if you have your dog on and you teach your dog to eliminate on walks, right? Your walks are going to be very stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, first of all, and your dog's not going to really get any physical exercise, right? Because they're not really working up any exertion, you know? And also, it's harder on you. Let's say one day you're homesick, right? Maybe you have the flu, or, you know, it's raining or snowing, right? Do you really want to go outside and sit there and walk your dog to get him to go to the bathroom? No, I mean, I personally don't. Designating a spot, you know, where you live. If you have a home, pick an area of your yard, you know, where you don't plan to plant anything or so forth. Or, you know, if you live in an apartment space, a lot of them have designated, you know, dog areas where they allow their clients to walk, to let their dogs eliminate. Teaching your dog to go in those areas, using the potty cue is also great. I do that with my dog, just, you know, keeping them on point. Because a lot of times when we take them out to go to the bathroom, there's so many smells and things. Sometimes they get a little distracted, right? So if you have your dog trained to know, hey, go potty, and then they do it, it's great. Especially if, like I said, it's pouring rain outside. It's great just to be able to open the door, let your dog out, say, go potty. Your dog goes to the bathroom and comes back in. Like I said, that takes a little bit of training, because one, you have to train your dog on knowing his boundaries, right? Not you can't have a dog that's going to run out of your yard, and you want it to know the potty cue, right? And know where its designated potty area is. But my dog is 7 months, and she has all that down. So a lot of times I'll just let her out. She knows the area where she's supposed to be in. If she starts wandering off, she has a good recall, and she knows that pretty much the front yard is her area for elimination. So when you have that under your belt, you know, you can get your dog to go to the bathroom in a, you know, quickly, and then the walk becomes an actual walk, and then they can really get their exercise, right? And go for a power walk, right? You can go for a jog. You can hook your dog up to your bicycle. If you check a lot of the dog catalogs, they have a little thing that you can hook a short leash up to a little hook, and your dog can run next to your bike, right? Hey, if you want to rollerblade, you know, whatever. Just, you know, you don't want it to be too leisurely, because you want your dog to get that exertion. You want them to burn off, you know, all that energy that they have. You can take them to the park. You know, you can play fetch with them. You can play frisbee with them. I mean, there's so many options. And, you know, even nowadays, we have some really great options. If you do want to play fetch with your dog, you don't even have to throw the ball. There's a chuck it. And it's basically almost like a, you know, scoop. And if you throw the ball with it, you pick the ball up. You don't have to touch a slobbery ball. I mean, there's some really great, you know, options out there of really great ways that you can get some exercise with your dog. You can also do trials with your dog if you want. There's all different kinds of activities and things that you can do with your dog if you want to, you know, have some fun with your dog and win some awards, and that gives them some great exercise too. So there's a lot of options, definitely, for getting your dog that exercise. Now, if you are a person that works a lot, long hours, and maybe just can't give your dog the exercise that it needs, there are options for you too. You can either hire a pet sitter to come and take your dog for a nice long walk and play with your dog, or you can take your dog to a doggy daycare. That's like a doggy utopia, right? They have plenty of activities and fun things to do with your dog. I guarantee you, you will pick up your dog and they will be exhausted. And a tired dog is a happy dog. So that's number 2, right? So number 3 is the mental part, right? And what a lot of people don't realize is dogs are natural foragers. If a dog is out in the wild, it is going to be searching for food, right? It's going to be exploring its environment and so forth. So it's using its brain, it's searching and looking, and so when we have our dogs like in our house, and even though we might have little Papillon or whatever, they still have that instinct in them, right? It's still in their DNA. They may not look like a wolf, right? They just look like a cute little dog, but they still have that little, foraging instinct in their DNA. So we got to give them something to do. We got to, when you get bored, it's frustrating, right? When a dog is bored, it's frustrating. And it's not a good thing because usually they'll let you know in destructive ways, right? So we want to make sure we give that dog some mental stimulation so that they do not get, bored and cause havoc, right? So what can we do? Well, there's so many options for you, okay? From one, getting a Kong, which I absolutely love. I love Kongs. And hold on, I'm going to pause this and grab my dog's Kong so I can show you what one looks like, just in case you don't know. So hold on. Okay, so my dog, she even sleeps with this. And right now it's empty. It has nothing in it. But even when it's empty, she still loves it. And she still chews on it and everything. So this is a Kong. And so not only is it great if you have a chewer, if you have a dog, that's a natural chewer like I do, it's great. And this is a normal Kong. They have pink and blue ones for puppies, and black ones is for like the super duper crazy and, over exuberant chewers, like the really, like they can tear up a tire, right? And then you definitely want to get the black one. But as you can see, it's got a hole here, and then it's got like a little hole here too. But what you do is you just put stuff in here, and there's so many things that you can put in there. And Kong does sell like a lot of like paste and treats that you can put on there, but they tend to be, in my opinion, a little expensive. So I feel like you can make your own stuff. If you go to their website, and Kong is spelled, if you can't see it here because it's backwards, K-O-N-G is how it's spelled. If you go on their website, they have recipes on there as well. One of the things that I like to do is just layer it. So one of my favorite things to start off with is peanut butter. That makes a really great plug. If you put peanut butter in there, it'll just plug up, this little hole right here. And then maybe I'll put some Cheerios, because that's a grain and it's safe. It's not going to make them sick or anything. And maybe some more peanut butter. And then I might put some kibble or some treats, and you just layer it from there. And then what else you can do too, if you want, you can also put like chicken broth, like especially in the summer, right? If you're going to have your dog out in the yard, or it's just hot and you're hanging out on the deck and you want your dog to just, relax and chill, you can, put it in a bowl and pour some chicken broth or beef broth in there. And if you want, you can put that peanut butter in there as a plug, and then freeze it up, right? And then it's basically going to be like an icicle, right? Like a beef broth or chicken broth icicle. And it'll take your dog a really long time to eat it, and they'll love it. But for mental stimulation, the thing is the dog has to figure out how to get the food out. right? How to get it out of here. And there's a whole bunch of, Kong has a whole bunch of different things. So there's all different kinds. And other companies have things similar as well, in different shapes and things where you can stick little things. So that is going to really work with their mental stimulation. They are really going to have a great time, right? And keep them busy, right? So that's good too. And they're getting that mental stimulation that they need. So they're not going to be bored. So that's one of my favorite things. Another one is you can get, they have these cute little things. They're like boards, and then they have like little bones on them, or there's all different little squares, and you put treats in them. It's basically a doggy puzzle. So they have to figure out where the treats are, under what things the treats are, how to move the things to get to the treats, right? Kong also has a little thing that's shaped similar to this, but it's big, and they have to bop it around to figure out how to get the like little treats out. That's, you know, mental stimulation as well. Also, you can do something as simple as hiding treats yourself, right? Maybe put your dog out in the yard and hide some treats around your house, and then let your dog in and then let them go and search for them and find them. I mean, that's perfect, right? They're going to be searching and foraging just like they would in the wild. So, but we definitely want to make sure that we give them that mental stimulation. And all dogs need that. Okay, even a little Shih Tzu, you know, is going to need that mental stimulation. Okay, so like I said, you know, the puzzles or hiding of treats, and you can hide treats outside as well too. If your dog is outside for a long period of time, you know, hide some treats and things out in the yard for them to find. The Kong is great. The puzzles are good. So those are the 3 things that we really, really need to concentrate on, you know, right now. You need to be doing those things right now with your dog to make sure that you have a great, well-balanced relationship with your dog. If any of those things are out of balance, if your dog's not getting enough, you know, if your dog's not seeing you as a leader, if your dog's not getting enough mental stimulation, if your dog's not getting enough physical stimulation, you're going to have issues. Issues are behavior issues are going to come up, right? So to prevent them, in a sense, it's great to have these things in play. Okay, they're huge components in keeping your dog well balanced and happy, and not having behavior issues. So before I sign off, I will go ahead and go over them again. They are, right, leadership roles. We want to make sure that we establish a good, strong leadership role, that our pack is well established, and that our dog understands their place and they know the rules of the home in a way that they can understand, right? That's imperative too. Why it's always good to get with a dog trainer, especially one like me who specializes in dog behavior and understanding the dog's mind, because we really, really want to make sure that, you know, what we want, we have it laid out in a way that your dog can understand, because like we understand things differently than dogs do. So that's very important. So 2, we definitely want to make sure that they have that physical exercise, right? And remember what I said. When I mean physical exercise, I mean it can't be stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. So that's why it's really great idea to get your dog trained to go to a designated area to eliminate, because when you do, you know, take them on that walk, you can make it a walk that's going to give them the exercise that they need. You can go ahead and give them, you know, that power walk or that power jog or whatever they need, and they're not going to stop and go to go to the bathroom. You can, you know, take them to their designated area, have them eliminate, and then go for that walk. And then you won't have to worry about, you know, them having to use the restroom. And you know, it's for me personally too, I like it, because then I don't have to worry about, you know, my dog going on in somebody's yard. that makes me feel good as well, knowing that I don't have to go and pick it up. You know, I bring a bag just in case, but I know that most likely my dog isn't going to go in somebody's yard because they already went before we started, right? So, and what are some of the ways we want to do, like power walks, maybe take them for a jog, hook them onto our bike and ride our bike. We can even rollerblade or roller skate, right? Play fetch, frisbee, you know, all those things are great. And then the third one is mental exercise, right? We want to give our dog plenty of mental exercise. Dogs are natural foragers. So even though you may just have a little dog, they still need that exercise. So definitely take them, give them that mental exercise. If it's as simply as using a Kong or a Kong-like item and filling it up with different things, so they have to work for it. Like I said, freezing it is great because that gives them, it's a lot harder for them to do. Also, hiding treats around or getting them a treat puzzle or any of those types of things is going to help with that mental exercise that they need, right? So those are the 3 things you need to be doing with your dog right now. Make sure that you have a strong pack, right? Your pack leadership role, your family parent role is established. Your dog's getting enough physical exercise, minimum what? 1 hour, right? For most dogs, and sometimes more if they're more active. And then we want to make sure that we're giving them that mental exercise as well, right? So if you have any issues with these things or any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. You can go to my website. It is www.followaprilslead.com. That's follow, and then April's just like the month, APRILS, lead.com. Followaprilslead.com. On there, you will find a link to my Facebook page as well, where I post a lot of my videos. And then I'm on Periscope too, as well. So definitely check out my website. On there, like I said, it has a link to my Facebook page. It has a Periscope button on there. You can even see when I'm on live. And then you can find out my information. You can get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to give you a free 20-minute consultation so we can figure out what we could do for you and your dog, okay? Because you want to have these 3 things. They are the essential, the 3 building blocks that you need to have to be, to have that great relationship with your dog. So I want to thank you guys so much for coming in today. I really appreciate it. I will be doing another blab at the same time at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. So I'll see you there. I want you all to have a blessed day. Love those dogs and take care of them, and they'll love you for it. Bye. Hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday.